So,
I had like half the department there, and they're like, our phones are short, and I'm like, sorry, it's not all of your own. Just better.
yeah. That's all right, all good, all good. We have those weeks too. Trust me.
Oh, I'm sure. I think we cause it sometimes for you. All right. Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, July 1st, 2025 at 7 p.m. We'll call the city regular meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the invocation given by Dan Zander, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time, for this wonderful sunshine that we have. We pray for our council meeting and so we can get this thing taken care of tonight. And we love you and we care about you and that's all I have to say. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you, everyone. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Here.
Councilmember Curley?
Here.
Councilmember DeMonico is out. Mayor Kleinfeld?
Here.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Here.
All right. Approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. The first hearing of the public is now open. Would anyone wish to be heard?
Good evening. My name is Tony Lipinski. I'm the Executive Director for the Recreation Authority of Roseville and Eastpointe. And I just wanted to clear up some misinformation regarding the dog park that I've just been hearing regarding agenda item H. In the minutes for the May 6th council meeting, it states that the city is currently paying internet fob costs for Rare's Dog Park. This is a City of Eastpointe Park. It's not the Rec Authority's park. The Rec Authority absorbed it, or basically was given the duties to, register and verify dog licenses, vaccination records for the dog park, and been doing that since it opened in 2015. We also purchased the fobs now that when the My Dog group disbanded in 2018. Many of the members moved out and nobody stepped up for them. So we've been purchasing the fobs, which keep getting more expensive every year. And then from the registrations that we take, we send the revenue, part of the revenue, to the City of Eastpointe. So since 2019, we've sent $10,445 to the city for the dog park. So I just kind of wanted to clear that up. The Recreation Authority has no park maintenance budget, no park maintenance staff. The issue with the dog park that happened in April, it's disappointing that it's not been fixed yet, but I understand also looking at, the cost of things, just taking a look at it, but, would like to get this thing moving. We also have a land use agreement with the city that's been in place since the Recreation Authority was formed. For the first 6 years, the land use agreement, the Rec Authority has paid $45,000 to the City of Eastpointe each year to help maintain the parks. It's to supplement the park maintenance budget. Since 2019, it's been $60,000 a year. And, part of that land use agreement, like I said, is to prepare the parks for our programs and events and things like that, but also to supplement the park maintenance budget. It's in there to, $15,000 to be allocated towards a capital project towards parks each year. I know the City of Eastpointe has done a lot of nice improvements to all of their parks, and they have some of the best parks around, and I appreciate that. But also in the land use agreement, it does state that
You have 30 seconds.
cities will be responsible to remediate, repair, and replace any damage or vandalism done to the park. So hopefully that will take place, and I would just advocate to keep the My Dog Dog Park as a gated park and let's just get this thing fixed and keep it a safe dog park for the residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, Jennifer Nicholas, Eastpointe resident. I know McKenna is on the agenda tonight, and I thought I was maybe reading this wrong, that they are increasing or proposing to increase their retainer rate to $12,000 per month when in the prior contract it was $650 a month. I feel that this $144,000 per year, not including additional expenses that they have, seems really excessive, and it seems like the recommended motion to deny this proposal and just go month to month with them while we look for a dedicated city planner that can work full-time for the city of Eastpointe would probably be the most economical way to go and probably be more consistent for the city. I've been going to planning commission meetings for about a year and a half now, and during that time there have been 5 or possibly 6 different planners that McKenna has assigned to the city to work on, special land uses and businesses coming in, going through our ordinances. I feel that, this has kind of given us, there's been some errors, some mistakes made, things that are not cohesive. This proposal that McKenna has to have a new planner for Eastpointe, Elizabeth Hart, while she has 8 years experience, I believe the majority of that has been in Salt Lake City, Utah, and she's only been with McKenna for a short period of time. Paul Urbiel, who's been at the last couple planning commission meetings, he's only been working with Eastpointe for, 3 months, maybe 3-4 months. I feel that they don't really understand Eastpointe and our needs, and things fall through the cracks when they are working with other cities or constantly being rotated, and I think it's a detriment to the city. This letter that McKenna has talking about everything that they've done for us, one of them talking about the Kelly Road Complete Streets Corridor Plan, a collaborative project now well underway. Nothing's been done on that since May of 2024.
I feel safe because the dogs who come there, the people who bring their dogs, I am confident that the owners have registered their dogs in either Rolfsville or Eastpointe. I like the fact that the dogs have to be vetted. They all have to have shots, rabies, whatever else they require, but my dog gets everything. I like that the owners are more motivated because the kind of person who'd be willing to pay money to come to a dog park is probably more likely to be a responsible citizen and responsible owner. I really don't want to have a free dog park because I'm concerned about the people that I find coming into the park right now. It is really concerning to me. I see people coming in with little children, 2 years old, 3 years old, and those big dogs could just bowl them over, hurt them, injure them, and what would happen if that, were to occur? I am worried about my friends that I see in the morning, and they go, when we come in the morning, there are people sleeping on the tables, they're sleeping on the benches, there are needles in the trash bins now, and I just think, oh my God, I don't want to have a homeless problem. I walk in that dog park and I pick up dog poop because I love dogs, so I'm willing to do it. But I don't want to be picking up human feces, and I don't know whether people are going to relieve themselves in the park during the night, if they're spending the night there. There's no way to make them leave. So my last thing is just that I also think that there are people coming in with dogs that I think are a little bit vicious. I see a lot of pit bulls in there. I have nothing against pit bulls. I love pit bulls. I love dogs. But when they come in and they will not allow their dog off leash and the dog is lunging, I have a Chihuahua, And it doesn't matter whether he's a Chihuahua. My dog got bitten at the dog park about a month ago. And you know what? I didn't worry about rabies. I had to take him to the vet. Nobody pays for the vet bill but me. And I didn't say, you have to pay for my vet bill. I didn't do it. I just said, okay, I love dogs. It's a dog park. And if you're bringing your dog to a dog park and you have to keep it on leash, why are you in a dog park? It's an off-leash dog park. So that was all I really wanted to say, and I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
My name is John Watts. I live on Melrose, my wife and I. Is there going to be time later on to talk about the dog park, or do I need to do that now?
Now would be your time.
Now would be the time. Okay, great. Okay. Edie, a good friend of ours, I second everything that she said so far. We've been going to the dog park for the past six years. From what I understand, tell me if I'm correct or incorrect, are we thinking about going to a situation with no membership fobs or whatever? There would be no membership?
So we can't answer questions. I'll say yes, though. That is what's on the agenda. Okay.
Okay. The designations of public and private in regard to the park are misleading. The park is public in any situation because any resident of several communities can gain access to the park by paying a nominal annual fee. The $25 fee covers the cost of the security and fobs or whatever, I'm not sure. But the fee should not be considered an undue burden for anybody, because if you're a dog owner, if you're a responsible dog owner, you know the cost of keeping your dogs up, their nutrition, their vetting, so forth. So the $25 I don't think is a big burden for anybody. The current membership plan, while not perfect or foolproof, does take into account a good measure of security for all involved. Edie spoke to that a little bit. When the gate lock is fixed, we will achieve better security. Also, as we have had issues with dogs meeting at the back gate. When they meet at that back gate, they have a corral at the front gate. Dogs are easily introduced. At the back gate, one dog comes in and 5 dogs go back and try to get out the gate when they're doing that. It's created a problem for us. So even in the meantime, if they could just open that front gate, even if it doesn't have a lock, if they could just unlock it, that would be a better system than coming in that back gate. Let's see. We have had many non-members come in with no idea what the protocols are. It's good that members are instructed in the protocols of the park. Examples are no.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, children under 5. Okay, I'm gonna go straight to what situation with my wife and I. We had a situation where our dog came into the dog park. A guy came in piggybacking on somebody else really quick, and he attacked our dog right off the bat. Okay, we ran home. We didn't know the dog was injured. We found out the dog was injured. We came back because we wanted to know if this guy had his dog rabies shots. So when we got back, we saw police leaving. The dog had attacked another.
I do have to ask you to wrap up, so just real quick. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Wendy, go ahead.
Thank you. Everyone has 3 minutes. I probably should have mentioned that when I saw some new faces. Sorry about that.
Hi, I'm Wendy Watts, and I'm Eastpointe resident of Melrose Court, too. Anyhow, the incident he was referring to was in 2023, the spring. This dog that they let into, it had on a spike collar, so you couldn't even get a hold of it to take it off your dog. And he came, and the owner had an attitude, too. I don't know if he's got that in here. He was saying he didn't have to show his key fob, and he told the police that, too. But he just, anyways, I'm not sure what all he's got on this, but that could happen at any time now. They did make a ruling after that they sent letters to all the, the members, that that spike collars weren't allowed. There would be no rules. As I understand it, I don't know how there can be any rules of having the dogs vaccinated, about having no spike collars, about no smoking, about no, there's protocol things that they tell you too in the training and in the booklet they give you that you shouldn't have the dogs congregate at the gate, try to get your dog away in case some dogs have guarding issues or they could slip out the gate, which is a problem now without that vestibule area that they just have the one big gate, that some dogs have gotten out almost onto 10 Mile there. Anyhow, let's see what else my wife and I had, our two dogs. I don't know what the rest of his is, but if the dog park is open, there would be no restrictions. People could come here from anywhere, from Detroit or from any of the other suburbs. People could come to try out their fighting dogs or to be scouting out for bait dogs. I mean, who knows? You know, we know these kind of things do go on. And if there's not members, and like he was saying, a $25 nominal fee is not, I mean, people spend money on pot and fireworks and all kinds of things. Surely $25 for a whole year to get a key fob is not gonna break the bank for anyone. And if they shouldn't have a dog, 'cause they couldn't take care of a dog if they can't spend $25 a year for a key fob. They couldn't feed their dog and vet it and everything. I mean, that's just, that would not be a hardship for anyone that's capable of owning an animal responsibly at all. I'm not sure what else. That you can't have any oversight at all if
30 seconds.
Can come in. Is that my time up? Okay.
Oh, you have 30 seconds if you.
30 seconds, is that my?
Yeah.
Okay. If people can't have there would be no regulation whatsoever for the safety of children, owners, pets. The dog might not be vaccinated. And the kind of dogs that might come that are not, if people can't afford $25, what kind of care is their dog having? It could be carrying anything.
Thank you.
They wouldn't be able to afford that care either, so.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, real quick.
Yes.
We're getting some feedback in the AV room. Could we make sure that all of your mics are turned off?
Sure. Anyone else wish to be heard? Anyone else? Yep, this is for any topic. You have 3 minutes.
I'm Tiffany Madden, and I'm here. I have a concern with the trash. I don't know what's going on with these people who are doing the trash now, but I've been in Eastpointe probably 18, 19 years, and this is the worst that I've seen it. As a matter of fact, when I left my home today, the trash was still sitting there. It's been there all day. It was supposed to be picked up today, and it's like hot trash on the street all day, sitting in the sun, and they're still not there. And when I get home, they may not be there. And then last week, I put out some boxes. They didn't even pick them up, so I called up to here to see, like, is something changed? Are they not doing that any longer? And I was told there was no change. So I put the box back out there, and hopefully when they come today, they'll pick it up. But I don't know what's going on with them, but that needs to be addressed. And that's my concern.
Thank you.
My name's Colleen Sangster. I live on Rain. It's about trash as well. Our trash day is Thursday. Our trash is sitting at the curb. I've called DPW. I tried calling Priority. I can't get through to anyone. I've sent messages to the DPW and asks for truck number and date and time. And I said, well, they haven't picked up since the 19th. So my question was just about the trash as well. They're working on our street, and we were told it would not have any interruptions to mail delivery or trash pickup. And it coincided perfectly with the first day of work, and then there's been nothing picked up. It's starting to smell. There's trash on the street, and we've lived here 25 years. We've never even been to a council meeting. I hate to say it, but, so we just want to know if there was something going on with that. It's like, Priority doesn't care. We've never had a problem until we got Priority. Missed yard waste, missed pickups, but this is the worst it's ever been. And it's like, we're coming up on a holiday weekend. We can't have trash sitting out all weekend. So that's it. Just
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
So I sent everyone sitting up here, unfortunately, I apologize, Mr. Bloom, I forgot to include you in the email. So hopefully everyone read my email about the toxins emitted by the traditional fireworks, and I understand the church is, way at the bottom of the agenda tonight wanting their special permit. Councilwoman, I can't pronounce your last name. Thank you for responding to the email this morning. I am happy that you took the time to read the email. So for tonight's comments, here we go. For this writing, I've included some research into this topic since it is certainly a public safety issue that goes beyond explosion-related limb and facial injuries. It's about the detrimental effects of dangerous toxins from traditional fireworks on human health, wildlife, birds, domestic animals, and environmental destruction. PETA, the American Lung Association, the National Institute of Health, Audubon Society, and many more organizations are warning about dangerous chemicals emitted from traditional fireworks. The American Lung Association in part states when fireworks explode, they release gases such as sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, along with aluminum, manganese, and cadmium, with some illegal fireworks containing lead. Particle pollution can also worsen existing lung diseases and cause heart attack, stroke, lung cancer, and premature death. The NIH also lists arsenic, sodium oxalate, iron dust powder, potassium perchlorate, and strontium nitrate in traditional fireworks. As for myself, I can testify living in this overcrowded suburb, the fireworks stench is akin to a forest fire for a few days following the 4th of July. So that means when I go in my backyard or in my garage, I have bronchial asthma and COPD. I am choking on that disgusting stench. It smells like a freaking forest fire. That's not good for my lungs. Although traditional fireworks have been a mainstay for decades, the public has blatantly ignored the safety and well-being for domestic animals, wildlife, birds, and the heavy toll on human physical and mental health, along with environmental destruction. There's a couple other organizations. I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to have to jump right to the alternatives. That drone fireworks. Okay, Shelby Township had theirs on June 21st. Sterling Heights is going to host theirs on July 24th. This can be done. It's safer for everybody, the environment, the animals. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Anyone else? All right, seeing none, the first hearing of the public is closed. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. Item A, regular meeting minutes for June 17, 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of June 17th, 2025.
Support.
All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes?
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes. All right, moving on to item B, special meeting minutes from June 24, 2025. Anyone want to?
So moved.
Move for approve, is there support?
Support.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes?
Thank you. Moving on to scheduled hearings. This is item A, public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2025-26 budget and tax rate. This hearing is specifically for anyone who wants to speak to the budget. This hearing is now open. Would anyone like to specifically speak to the budget? All right. Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. We'll move on to unfinished business, we have no unfinished business. We'll move on to reports from administration. Item A, City Manager's Report. Ms. Doom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to remind everyone, as this is the 4th of July holiday, our offices will be closed to the public on Thursday and Friday of this week. We have upcoming, not that this will really help folks who have trash issues because we know about it. The complaints are nonstop. Our Public Works is doing their best to work with Priority. They aren't exactly getting quite the cooperation we were hoping for, and we know how delayed they are. We do have Long Monday coming up this coming Monday at the Public Works Building on 10 Mile Road, where folks can bring their trash, yard waste, and recyclables to our DPW. Just one caution, only one tire is the maximum that a person can dispose of, and absolutely nothing that's hazardous, anything that could explode or blow up. Now, this is not a solution to your trash pickup. It just happens to be our normal Long Monday where people can bring additional trash. But know that our Public Works Director, it's about consumed his day is trying to deal with Priority and the lack of pickup and just getting to talk to people. There's one manager after another. This one's gone, that one's gone. We can't get a hold of them. So our communication has been very limited. I know you as the public, you haven't been able to get through. If you do get through, you either get disconnected or they'll call you back and they're not going to call you back. So we are working very closely with them. So bear with us. They are our only provider, and we're trying to work with them to get that trash picked up. We know it's been sitting out there. We know it's hot and it's smelly. And even our Public Works Director has gone out and picked up some trash himself because he's been so unhappy with process. So everyone here on council is well aware of the issues, and we are going to be working with Priority as closely as we can to get them out here and get that trash picked up. And that's what I have. Thank you.
So if I could comment regarding the trash pickup, something I wanted to ask administration to look into. I know that I think every department right now is sort of fielding phone calls for that. I'd like to, and we are tracking the complaints in the streets that they're not picking up. And like you said, Darren, and I know some of the DPW has gone with their pickup trucks and they're just going and picking up yard waste themselves, which is not their job, and it's taking city resources to do that. If we can look at the website, I think it might be a good idea, knowing all the issues we have, maybe just on the homepage at the top, if there's a priority issue, click here to submit exactly what's going on. Because I think we need to keep everything tracked with as much organization as we can. So I just wanted to ask administration to look into that. So if people are trying to find who to complain to, it's like the first thing you see, because I think a lot of people are looking for that right now.
If I may?
Yes, please.
I'd like to follow up on that. Every complaint that we receive, whether it's email to myself or to others, or directly to DPW, whether it's a phone call or a recording, they can't even pick up the phones fast enough for you folks. And so a lot of you are leaving messages, but for every single message we receive, Priority has a portal for complaints as to what address it is, and the staff is entering in all of your addresses, everyone they've heard from as being a non-pickup. So we are doing what we can. We're alerting them to the fact of where you live, what streets have not been picked up, specific addresses, and all entering them into their system and then calling them directly and trying to work with them. So we are trying. It's frustrating for us too. We know you're frustrated, but we're doing the best we can right now.
Maybe it's time. You mentioned managers. Maybe it's time to, if you can get through, say that we want to talk to the owner, to the president of whatever his title is, and explain to him that the citizens are upset and the council is upset, and we've tried to talk to your managers without avail. It's still happening. Happened to me. My pickup was Friday. They didn't pick it up. And just say I want to talk to the president. Nobody else. It's got to be right now or within the next hour or two. You need to scare the willies out of them.
We can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments?
Just to that same point, just so everyone knows, just like my fellow members of council said, I've been sending email after email, and I get a response back from our city manager, our DPW director, and sharing with us how many times they've reached out and tried to call. So the complaints don't go unheard. We're reaching out. I can't tell you how many times a week, how many times in a day, forwarding emails and trying to get these problems resolved. And so in one of our upcoming meetings, it'll be an agenda item. So just so you guys all know, yeah, we are working hard. We hear you guys. I sat out and watched some of what they've done. So I've seen some issues on my own street. So we go through it as well, just like Councilman Crowley said.
All right, thank you. Any questions? All right, we'll move on to the Finance Director's report. Mr. Blum.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As mentioned at the last meeting, taxes are not out there yet. Once Council approves the budget tonight, tomorrow I'll be doing the finalization process, and you'll be able to see taxes online. The paper bills will be going to the printer, and they'll be out next week in the mail. As far as paying your taxes, we did implement the BSNA online this morning. So anybody that pays online, they will see a slightly different version of what they're accustomed to. The advantages are that this will post immediately. Most people, if you've done online, you make a payment and your payment doesn't get reflected for a day or two until we've downloaded information and uploaded it back to the system, everything. This is fully integrated, so as soon as you pay it, it will show up on your account, whether it's a building permit, a water payment, a tax payment. Additionally, we have new card readers. We've actually finally got into the 2020s. It has the tap to pay, the chip reader. It will take Apple Pay, Google Pay, all that fun stuff. So that's probably as advanced as we've ever been around this place. So that is up and running. The other thing is the MERS actuary came out a little later than normal, but it came out on Monday. It has been uploaded to the website if you want to look at the whole thing. I just wanted to highlight a couple items on it. The funded percentage went from 57 to 58%, not a big change. But the biggest impact was the liability actually declined. This is where we're finally seeing the impact of all of the groups that we have closed out. The only group that's not closed out is fire, and we will work on that in the next contract round. But for the first time in forever, the liability dropped, and then there was a slight increase in the assets. We're currently projected to be 60% funded by 2028, which is the state's goal, and then 80% funded by about 2033, so long after I'm gone. But there's much more to it.
Where are you going?
Stay home. But there's much more information out there if you want to pull up the report and take a look at it. And that's all I have tonight.
All right, any questions? All right, we'll move on to the City Attorney's report. Mr. Albright.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Last Wednesday, I received a correspondence from the governor's office acknowledging receipt of the proposed charter amendment that the council passed pursuant to a resolution. I also received a call from the Assistant Attorney General that's heading up that review last Friday. I anticipate we should have a response from their office okaying the language probably within the next 2 weeks or so. And then council's in receipt of our monthly status report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, any questions?
I just have one. Will that be within the time parameters so that we can get that on the ballot?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll move on to new business. Item A, second reading and adoption of ordinance 25-1249, fiscal year 2025-26 appropriations and tax levies.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 25-1249, providing for the annual appropriations and tax levies for the city of Eastpointe fiscal year 2025 through 26.
Is there support?
Support.
All right, I know this was kind of delayed. We've already asked questions on this. Did anyone have any other questions now? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Thank you very much. Randy, when you opened your report, I wanted to say, what makes you think we're going to pass it, just to see your face drop? We'll move on to item B, approve creation of delinquent special assessments.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to authorize the finance director to place delinquent special assessments on the 2025 summer taxes as requested by the finance director.
Support.
All right, any questions as to that? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. All right, item C, renewal of the workers' compensation third-party administration services.
I move that we approve the renewal of the workers' comp third-party administration services with the Michigan Municipal League at a net cost of $205,783 for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
Support.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right, item D, approval of third-party general liability insurance. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I move that we award and authorize the execution of an agreement with the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority to administer and provide excess liability insurance coverage for the city's self-insurance program for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and authorize the city's necessary contribution to its loss fund with the total cost of services, insurance, and contributions to be $622,494.
Support? Any questions?
Support.
I already supported.
Oh, you did?
Please.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, go ahead.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
All right, item E, approval to schedule an introduction of first reading for the proposed updates to the fee schedule.
I would move that we schedule the introduction and first reading of the proposed 2025 fee schedule, ordinance 25-1250 for July 15, 2025.
Support.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
All right, item F, approval and award of the contract for the executive search services for the position of city manager. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I move that we award the contract for executive search services for the position of city manager to Vitrano Consulting LLC, P.O. Box 82202, Rochester, Michigan 48308, and further authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
Is there support?
Support.
And I just had one question. I know that meeting, we weren't live streaming because it was during the thunderstorm and the internet went out. Did that end up posted?
I believe
we
it
know?
did.
Okay.
I'll double check though.
Just so the public knows, we had a discussion on the candidates at our last special meeting, which is we approved the minutes for that today. So any other questions on the contract? Please call the roll.
Mr. Mayor, yes, it was posted.
Okay, thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Item G, approval to reject sole proposal for professional planning and zoning consultant services. I know that we all have the memo from administration. I guess I'll ask first, does anyone on council want to open with a motion? Okay, I guess I would like to just open with the comment. I agree with not approving the contract and going to month services. I guess my question for administration would be, I'd like to not just jump immediately today into the decision to hire full-time in-house. I guess I'd like to see kind of like a comparison on what options we think are out there. Today, I'd like to just say, yeah, we're not going to award the new contract, go to 30 days, and then I know it's come up to council before, the discussion about going in-house. Maybe I think we should probably have that discussion again before doing that as part of denying the contract. I think they're kind of two separate issues in my mind. What does council think?
I'll support that.
Okay. Well, I'll turn it into motion then. Motion to reject the single proposal received in response to request for proposals for professional planning and zoning services, and approve the extension of the current agreement for professional technical planning advisory services with McKenna Associates, set to expire June 30th, 2025 on a month-to-month basis with 30 days notice of termination.
I'll support.
All right. Any other questions or comments on that? And I guess in the coming meetings, if once administration's sort of ready with what proposals they think make sense, to just add it to the agenda. All right, please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes?
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right, moving on to item H, decision on the MI Dog Park FOB program. Well, I have my opinions on this, but I don't want to dominate the conversation, so would anyone like to open up?
Go right on ahead. You're on a roll.
Yeah. No, you have the hammer. You can dominate if you want to. I wouldn't say a word. But now that I got the microphone, I will.
Go ahead.
First of all, yeah, there's a lot of discussion on this. First of all, option 2, to open up the dog park to everybody. I would not agree with that. I think that people who put out whatever it is, $25, $35, do that, in my mind, I think, take off my glasses. I think they do that because they want security, they want to be private, and all other adjectives that I could think of and that you all can think of. So opening that up to everybody is just Pandora's box, I think. So I'm going to save my comments for the second and third thing after the mayor gets done.
Okay, so I'll try to be quick because I think I don't want to repeat too much of what people have said. I think having a FOB system is good. I think it's good to have the animals vetted with their vaccines. There was some comments about the rules that go on in the park, which I think are very important. I think, after 2008 and we've had to combine our recreation system, we've had amenities in the park close or had to tear things out. The biggest example is Kennedy Pool. That was an expensive thing to maintain, and we charged, I don't remember what it was yearly, but I think it was like 25 or 30 per summer pass or something. So charging for individuals to use an amenity is I think, it's nothing new. And, since then we've created a Parks Commission. We're trying to bring more stuff back into the parks. Once you lose something, it is hard to get back because you have to find the funding to bring it back. So I'm in favor of option 1, that we fix it and start maintaining it. Again, and keep it as it is, as a fobbed park where they have to go through an application process to get their fob.
So it sounds like Councilman Curley made the motion and you support it. That's what I think I just heard.
Sure. Is that your motion, Councilman Curley?
Sure.
Support.
Well, and just saying, this, I'm not going to, it's too sad. I'm not going to talk about it tonight. That I'm thinking very seriously of naming a park after a person who, she worked very hard on this, months and months, and she got people to donate money for this. I don't want to say anything more because but I think this person deserves for the park to be named after this person. I'm trying not to even tell you if it was a man or a woman, but some of you may know. You can raise your hand. Do you know what I'm talking about? Anybody? Well, good. I'm glad you don't know what I'm talking about, because I can bring it up then. Members of the council probably know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure that they would agree what I would like to do. Maybe in another 30 days, I want to talk to some relatives of this person and see what they think of the idea. Thank you.
I do have something quick. With respect, I have a question about the changing the system. So if we go with the repairing it and using the internet cost, will the fobs continue to work? What if we have another power surge? I hate to say it like that, but you know, it could potentially happen. I mean, look at our neighborhood, how often, you know, the grid goes down.
The existing system had a panel that got fried. The new system would be cloud-based, so there might be some electronics, but not as much that could be damaged in another surge or power outage or something. So a cloud system will actually be safer than what we have.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to show my ignorance. I don't have a clue what is it? Cloud what?
Cloud system.
Cloud system.
I don't have a clue.
I'll explain it to you.
Over breakfast.
We can do it. Yeah, we'll do it after the meeting.
Can we do it over a beer after the council meeting?
Well, I don't drink, but we'll figure out. I'll have a pop.
Oh, I don't either. I'm going to have a Diet Pepsi, but.
All right.
Okay, but I'm sorry.
I'll break it down for you. I'll explain it to you.
I don't know if it's my age or me just being dumb. I'm not sure which it is, but just explain it to me, that's all.
So just for administration, I think we just made a general motion to repair and maintain. I'll note the cost for everything here is under 5,000. So are you guys fine with that motion, or just
Yes.
want anything more specific?
Yep. IT's ready to roll tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Any other comments then? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item I, approval of the special event application for the 3rd annual community baby shower. Did anyone want to make a motion?
I move that we approve the 3rd annual community baby shower at Gianna House on July 20th, 2025, contingent upon the following. Any tents larger than 10 by 10, that's 10 feet by 10 feet, must be properly permitted. A temporary use permit must be obtained for the bounce house at least 5 days prior to the event. If an aggregate square footage of 700 square feet of tents side by side is exceeded, 12 feet of separation must be maintained.
Support.
All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
All right, item J, approval of special event application, Better Life Church fireworks. Did anyone want to open up with a motion? All right, did anyone want to open up with any comments on it?
We're talking about the application from the church,
Yes.
from Better Life Church Fireworks. Mr. Mayor, I would approve the request from Better Life Church to have their fireworks event on July 3rd, 2025. Now, do you want all the requirements read into the record, or?
Yeah, I don't know if you have it in front of me. Do you want me to make the motion, or
No, I
do you
just,
have it in front of you?
yeah,
Oh, yeah. I think we do have to read them into the record.
we do? You do want me to
Yeah.
read them? Okay, I'll put my glasses on, because there's a lot of it. The company providing setup and discharging the fireworks must have provided an applicable license and a certificate of liability insurance no later than June 26th, 2025. All food trucks must be properly permitted with an approved inspection at least 5 business days before the event. Any tent larger than 10 by 10 must be properly permitted. A liability insurance must be provided, naming the city of Eastpointe as an additional insured in the amount of no less than $1 million. All vendors selling goods must obtain a vendor's license from the clerk's office before the event, and either a $1,200 deposit be submitted on July 1st, 2025 to cover the costs of the J.J. Mitch staffing cleaning the park on July 3rd, 2025, or a $2,500 deposit be submitted on July 1st, 2025 to cover the cost of J.J. Mitch cleaning service on July 4th, 2025, with any unused deposit amount being applied to the applicant's outstanding water and sewer balance.
I'll support that, first of all. I guess my first question was, we're at July 1st. Has there been any deposits submitted to the city, Mr. Blum? I don't know if you would know that.
I do know, and it has not. I believe Juanita had been in contact with them, and they were supposed to bring it to tonight's meeting.
Are you from the church? You can come up and respond, please. Please state your name first.
Good evening. Chandra McMillian with Better Life Church. We were told that we would be informed of what was required and that we would have until tomorrow noon. I was not aware of, and I have not heard anything to bring anything in advance. And I did check my email before today. I have not received any telephone communication or messages indicating to bring something for tonight. But we are happy to comply with what we were told in advance, is that whatever was required, we would have until noon tomorrow to bring it.
Okay, and you just heard us kind of read out the motion. Do you see any issues complying?
I do think a little bit of flexibility, because again, I did ask if we could be aware of anything in advance, and I was told there wasn't anything in advance other than, of course, what's in the special application. So we definitely will have a certificate tomorrow. We only have 3 food trucks. They have also already received their approval from the city to make the deposit. If there's a way that the deposit could be less, because we are cleaning up, we have always cleaned up, but if we do have to make a payment for the deposit for the cleanup, then we would do that as well. So I think those are the main things that I can think of. Like I said, our tent is 10 by 10, so we are happy to just, find out that we're fine in terms of the prayer tent that we were gonna have. And that's really I think all of the things. And please let me know if there was anything that I didn't touch on that had a specific date. So like I said, the checks, the food vendors have already been approved. The liability, like I said, we'll present that tomorrow. We were just waiting for the official approval.
I guess kind of hearing those representations, personally, and this is your motion, Harvey, my feeling would be I'd be okay with not having the deadline July 1st, but July 2nd at noon. However, I don't think I would be willing to change any of the requirements for the deposit. I think if you want to go forward, I think that stuff is necessary.
Did you write all the things down that I read?
No,
Can I give this to her? Sure.
Thank you.
I can't walk, so you're going to have to come up.
Yes, thank you so much.
There you go.
So I guess the only question would be, Councilman Curley, would you be amenable to amending your motion so the deadlines that are listed for July, well, the deadlines that are listed that have passed would be July 2nd at noon?
I would amend my motion to extend the deadline to 12 noon on July 2nd.
Or is it possible to just say July 2nd?
I'm going to say noon.
As long as you get here before 4 o'clock.
Well, that's what I was hoping. We wouldn't wait till 12, but I would hate to.
Well, I'm going to say 3:45, because if I say 4 o'clock, you'll get here at 4:10.
No. 3:45 would be great, just to give us that additional grace.
All right, then I would make that 4 o'clock.
Okay. Well, sorry to be a stickler. I would withdraw my support in that case. I want to see if any of the other council members would support that motion.
Well, you two, we already know you're withdrawing your support, so the other two, what time do you want? What do you want?
Well, noon was mentioned initially. I think, can you do it by noon?
And the plan is that the only reason why I appreciate the grace is that I would hate that, for example, we, talk to the insurance company, they're prepared to do it. But if something were to happen and we actually didn't get it till 12:01, we would hate for that to be an issue. We're definitely, I mean, we hope to get it before 12, but if we had that grace so that there wasn't any sort of an issue, we would appreciate it. So whatever you could do. I mean, the goal is that we're gonna get it ASAP. If possible, it'll be as early as 9 or 10 in the morning. So, I mean, the goal is to get it here ASAP. We're not trying to delay. We're just, again, appreciative of the consideration.
Did you have the fireworks last year?
Yes.
So you kind of know there's stuff that you have to do in advance.
Absolutely.
So you kind of knew that.
And that's what I said, we're prepared for all of that, but to then actually execute it. So the insurance company, we're waiting for the approval. They're prepared to issue it immediately, but they're a business, so we still have to get it from the insurance company. So that's really the only one that's potentially a stickler, because we're relying on a business outside of ours. They're already prepped, they're ready to go, they know it's required, but I'm just saying I would appreciate the grace. And if we have the grace, it's not that we're gonna come in at 3:44. We'll still probably make it before the 12. It's just we appreciate the grace if you can provide it.
So I just want to step back for a second, because I know that sometimes I'm a little loose on procedure. There was a motion on the floor. Technically, I'm not supposed to withdraw it or anything like that, so I'd like to treat Harvey's motion as an amendment to the original motion. It's really what it should have done, to see if anyone wants to amend to the 3:45, is that what you said?
Yes.
Is there support to amend to the?
I'll support that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll support it.
All right, so just in regards to the amendment to the motion, which would be to change the deadline to, the past deadlines to tomorrow at 3:45, let's call the roll on that.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
No.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
No. And I'll, again, because I think from my perspective, administration has indicated they did relay this, it's past the deadline. I would make a motion to amend to extend the deadline to noon tomorrow.
All right, I'll support that.
All right, please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes?
Councilmember Shadlick,
No.
All right, we have the amended motion then that would give you to noon tomorrow to comply with those requirements and otherwise approve the event. Is there any more questions on that motion? Please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
I think it was Harvey's
Back
motion.
to
and I-
Harvey's motion. Councilmember Curley,
On the main motion for
Oh,
approval.
the main motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
No.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes. Sorry, I think I made that a little confusing the way I went through it, but, all right, the motion is passed. We'll move on to, thank you very much, I appreciate it. We'll move on to item K, approval of special event application quality new construction homes. Would anyone like to make a motion on that?
I move to approve the special event application for the Harvard Homes Quality New Construction Homes event on August 4th, 2025, contingent upon the following. All food trucks must be properly permitted with an approved inspection at least 5 business days before the event. Any tents larger than 10 feet by 10 feet must be properly permitted. All outstanding permits must be approved. A certificate of occupancy must be issued prior to the event. And Harvard Homes Group Incorporated must have completed all required inspections and received their business license before the event.
Support.
All right, any questions on that? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes?
All right, now with that, we'll move on to payroll and bills. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I move that we pay the bills in the amount of $2,680,003.98.
Support.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Blum on that? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
All right, the second hearing of the public is now open. Would anyone wish to be heard? Anyone wish to be heard?
in continuing on with my previous comments from the first hearing of the public, UMAtechnology.org reports toxins from traditional fireworks contaminate the air, ground, soil, and leaches into bodies of water. The Audubon Society issues a stark warning of many chemicals like barium and antimony have been shown to have dangerous effects on the lungs, heart, and stomach. Perchlorate, oxygen-rich molecules that allow the fuel and fireworks to burn disrupts thyroid endocrine systems in reproduction and wildlife and is listed as a drinking water contaminant by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. To counter the dangers of traditional fireworks emitting toxic chemicals, we must no longer ignore their deleterious impact regarding public safety. The American Lung Association recommends drone fireworks since they do not contaminate the air. There's no risk of fires and no noise pollution to frighten animals or those suffering from PTSD. In addition, UMAtechnology.org recommends laser light shows, drone light shows, biodegradable confetti, projection mapping, and virtual reality fireworks. The message is profound. It's up to all of us to make responsible choices and embrace eco-friendly alternatives that will help protect our planet for future generations and promotes a more sustainable future for all. Other than our one council member, and thank you for your no votes, because that tells me you truly did take this to heart. You paid attention. The rest of you, you failed miserably. You could have cared less about public safety, about the harm caused to animals in the environment. So you're basically saying you don't give a damn about all the toxic chemicals being released into the environment. You always talk about future generations. What we do today is for the future generations. You screwed the future generations. I really hope you're still around when those kids grow to be adults and say, why did you screw us like this? Answer to them.
Okay. Anyone else?
Name's Larry Edwards, Eastpointe resident. I just got a couple of quick questions. And I may have missed it somewhere along the line, but is there an update to what's going on with the 9-mile street project as opposed to the 3-lane, the 5-lane, and what have you? I know they're doing work, but I'm not up to speed with what's really going on with what they're doing now and what's all entailed with that. The other thing is with the trash pickup situation, I don't think I've actually heard a reason for why things are being done the way it is other than new management and what have you. Is there something behind it other than that to say what's going on, why they're doing this, why the situation is the way it is, other than just the managers? Thank you.
Yeah.
Just two things. I wanted to give you guys a very heartfelt thank you from the dog park community. We appreciate what you've done. Also, with the priority trash situation, I've had to call about 3 times, and every one of those 3 times, they picked up within, one time they picked up within a half hour, and then the other ones were the same day. They said they would put it on a ticket. So maybe, let people know that, go directly to priority, call their number rather than, the city, and, they seem to be taking, in my experience, they've taken care of it promptly.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Jennifer Nicholas. I just have a question. I wasn't here for the last regular council meeting. I was watching it at home, though, and Mayor Kleinfeld, you issued a proclamation to recognize Juneteenth by the city, but you said that it was an action item and you put it to a vote. And I'm kind of confused on that because I thought proclamations are proclamations and we don't vote on those. We normally vote on resolutions. So I was hoping that maybe you could address that, why you chose to put it to a vote. It's a federal holiday. City Hall was closed. Banks and post offices were closed. It's really nothing that anybody needs to vote on. It is what it is. And it's with most all of our proclamations, whether it's honoring Black History Month or Hispanic Heritage Month or, Juneteenth, and I'm assuming that, Pride Month maybe next year would also be a proclamation. Those are recognized and celebrated, and I just feel like having council vote on it, I'm not sure why. As mayor, that's part of your function is to issue proclamations on behalf of the city. I don't see the need for people to vote on it. We vote on resolutions. We don't vote on proclamations. So if you could, if you have a chance, kind of clear that up for me, because I have an idea of why you would do that, but I'd rather have you address it than me just speculate. So if you have some time to address that, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? All right, seeing none, the second hearing of the public is closed. We'll move on to mayor and council reports. Councilwoman Pashadlik.
I just want to thank ACE, Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission, for sponsoring the Juneteenth event. I thought it was really, they did a great job considering the weather was a little suspect that day and just delaying it by an hour, but it was well attended. It was a really nice event, and I think they did a phenomenal job, so I'd like to commend them for that. I'd also like to mention that we have the 2025 Summer Concert Series lineup. So if you're interested, we'll have it at the library. The next one is July 10th, which is a Thursday, from 6 to 8 p.m. Soundproof Band will be there. So it's a good band, and it'd be nice to see everybody come out. If you can't make it then, we also have July 17th, which would be the following Thursday, and that'll be here at City Hall with the DSO. We have a quartet, string quartet here, so that would be another great thing to attend. So I'd just like to highlight that. I'd also like to touch upon the trash situation. I've been contacted by numerous residents as well as neighbors, complaining about the priority waste, and I certainly understand the complaints, and as Mr. Edwards had questioned, why, we really don't have an answer for you. Unfortunately, they haven't given us a definitive answer, so I really can't answer the question why this is going on. But I do know that our administration has been dealing with it, and I'd like to commend DPW, especially Darren in particular, because I know that's been, he's been inundated, in their department with all the complaints. So I'd like to commend him for his handling of all of that, including picking up trash from the DPW. I'd like to ask for more patience again, though, because I know it's not resolved yet, but we are looking for resolution, so.
Thank you. Councilman Baker.
Thank you. Yeah, that was pretty much it, but we kind of already touched on the priority issue, and, like we stated before, some of us are dealing with some of the same issues that everybody else is having, late pickups, lack of pickup. I've been sending email after email to city administration, and I came in and talked, I think it was last week, and I asked about making it an agenda item, and there's just a few more things administratively that they have to try to work out, but it's a forthcoming agenda item, so. But yeah, the complaints and concerns don't go unheard. Beyond that, I hope everybody has a safe holiday, and that is pretty much all that I have.
Thank you, Councilman Curley.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. You call priority and they say, well, the trucks are down. They need to be repaired. Yeah, okay. You probably got about 150 trucks in some parking lot, but yet half the town wasn't picked up. No, I don't believe that. I would just, and I know a lot I'm preaching to you about, but when you call them, you need to have it on speaker and you need to have another person with you in your office. Because if you're by yourself, they're going to say something that they didn't say, but they'll say that they said it. So I'm tired of it too. It's ridiculous. We should go over there and count how many trucks they got, you know. And anyway, the other thing I've got, I'm not going to talk about bad stuff. And 1826, keep that in mind, 1826, 50 years to the day that they signed the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both died on that day. John Adams was 91, Thomas Jefferson was 86. So you can subtract 50 from those two dates and figure out how old they were when they were arguing and trying to come up with something that's it, that's our people. So enjoy yourself. Don't let anything stupid get into your mind. If your neighbor hasn't cut the grass, don't try to think about that Friday. Thinking about it Saturday, but not Friday. And just have a good time and just think about all the things that we've done. Not this council. We're not going to talk about what we did. That would be a short conversation. But what the Americans done since 1770. And by the way, they were going to sign it on the 2nd, but things got goofed up. And so they waited 2 days and declared July 4th as the official date of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you very much. First, I will, respond to the proclamation question. One of the things that was mentioned at the hearing of the public, which I thought was interesting, is that it's believed it's my job to issue proclamations on behalf of the city. It's not. I don't see myself as having that authority. I don't think I should really proclaim things on behalf of the whole city myself that people might disagree with or other council members might disagree with. Realistically, in our rules, there's no difference between proclamation and resolutions, and we used to vote on all the proclamations. At some point over the years, I think people just started putting them at the top of the agenda for convenience. It's always sort of rubbed me the wrong way that council members are all agreeing and signing to a declaration and not voting on it publicly. I think even though it might be minute things that people might not think is that consequential or is not a big deal, I don't think at any time the 5 of us should be signing things behind closed doors without voting on it publicly. So for me, that was sort of getting back to how I think it really should be done for any action from council. And I've reached out to other communities to ask this question about how do you guys handle it, and some other communities have in their rules things spelled out for how to properly do a tribute, a proclamation, or a resolution. We really don't have that. So I think anything that's an action by the entire city council isn't something we should just do without a vote. It's something that should be done publicly. I think that's required by the OMA. Regarding priority, simply we don't have an answer for exactly why it's happening because it's a private company we're dealing with. So we have been trying to get answers to that, and we're not the only community that's having major problems with that right now. And with that, I would just ask that wish everyone have a good holiday, stay safe this weekend, and I will entertain a motion to go into closed session for purchase or lease of purchase or lease of real property pursuant to 152681D and attorney-client privilege pursuant to 2681H.
So moved.
Support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Going into closed session at 8:15.